regimental uniform introduced. Like those you saw for at the university. The law students are wearing black. Their mind and their course, their appearance.
Enes, I think you have to call back. We can barely hear you. Walter from Rukwako, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good day, my sister.
Good day.
I'm a professor on this matter. I remember back then, 70s. I happened to attend a program at school, the school you first mentioned as an example.
Okay.
And I knew then we had disciplinary prefect that controls students then. You don't do anyhow. You do anyhow, they hand it to a soldier. Then we used to have soldiers in the schools. That's we in the dormitories. I was in dormitory. I wasn't a day student.
Okay.
Yes. But those students, before you pass to the gate, they must properly check how you dress, how you are neat. If you are not neat, they will take you home. You will go home. Who does that now? Also in the public schools. You don't do it. If you do it, you see parents coming to challenge you, teachers in the school. I'm not talking of university because I was not opportune to attend a higher institution then.
Okay.
But I go to some universities. My sister, if you see these children, I say, if my daughters or my sons will they dress like this? I look at them. I say, these students, do they have parents?
All right. Thank you very much. Miriam from Okrika, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Denise. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You see, Denise, if parents can no longer control their children in school, in primary schools and secondary schools, talk more of the children in the university. You see, a secondary school boy, a JS3 boy, cannot wait to begin to wear trousers that he will pencil. In fact, these days they make it jump up. It will be tight at the end, the ankle area, so tight and no belt hole again, and they must sag it. In fact, during break they will sag. Then when they want to get into the classroom, maybe they will just out of little caution for some top teachers and stop eating a bit, but it must be sagged. And the JS3 girl can no longer wait. In fact, she can't wait to wear skirt, the one that has been wearing pinafore, so it will be tight and short. Then that's where she starts her guy. See, making uniforms for or trying to see if you can adopt this uniform size for universities. For me, it's a no-no. So how can you uniforms? What color now will you choose?
Mira, I already said some universities are adopting it. I wore uniform in the university. I wore white and navy blue for some days. I wore uniform.
The kind of uniform are you telling me the uniform to be given to students
No. It's just like what happens in law school. Most of the law schools I know, they wear black and white. No, the school doesn't give them the black and white. They go and source for the black and whites themselves. I sourced for my black and navy blue, my white and navy blue myself.
Denise, I went to UST and I saw law students that are wearing super hot skirts, short black skirts. They were said, they will tell you, yes, we wear uniform, but trust me, even if you hand this uniform over to them, they will trim it to their size. I've been very fitted. Some of them will cut it. You cannot go about every day watching these students, watching one student one after the other, how fitted or how saggy their uniforms are. You can't. Denise, I think we should just say your dressing should be corporate. Whatever you wear, let it be corporate wear.
Dressing.
There is this school that is adopting it, Eleshi Amadi Polytechnic, at the gate. You cannot enter the gate if you are not corporately dressed. Even if you want to wear jeans, it must be a polo that is long. From the gate, they take them out. They mark all the gates, and there are no back doors and this thing. Just one gate.
All right.
Into the school.
All right. Thank you so much, Mira. Okafor, welcome to the sunny side, Okafor. Go ahead. Okafor, are you still there?
Yes, I am there, Dennis. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. Having listened to the last callers, I want to quickly say here, I recommend the uniform. And the uniform at university level must be at departmental levels. And then the parents has role to play. Society has role to play. And then the university authorities, those who have been saddled with the responsibility of making sure there is discipline in the university, should also play their role. Because even if you introduce uniform, and then people who are given responsibility to ensure that sanity, that appropriate dressing takes place, if they don't play their part, people will still abuse it. So what I'm saying here is that those who are given responsibility to ensure that there is sanity in the system must play their role, and that's the only way collectively we can correct this immorality, this abnormality that is almost taking over our society today. The parents, it seems, they have failed. The society or community, they have failed. The university itself, the university authorities, those people saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that there must be appropriate way of dressing before you cross the gate. If they fail to play their part, it then means the whole society has failed. So I accept the introduction of uniform, but those who are in position to make sure that the appropriate uniform and the appropriate way of wearing it is adopted should also play their part.
All right, thank you. Frank is calling from D-Line. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Frank. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Didi. How are you today?
I'm good. Go ahead. Welcome.
Okay. The issue of the defect dressing. My sister, the thing is becoming unbearable. If you go around Port Harcourt, you see them. Some of them are half naked. They just use it to entice men. And those children, at times, I wonder whether they are parents, they are not alive. At times, they came from various homes. And their parents refuse to advise them how to dress. I could remember when my uncle used to advise my sister anytime my sister become private. My uncle takes her back to inside and said, "Go and undress that thing." But this time around, I don't see whether people are taking that thing serious. They say, it's a serialization now. Leave them, let them spend them. For myself, I even want to wear it to church. So, I bet we have a lot to do so that this thing can reduce.
All right, thank you, Mr. Frank. Udrak from Woji. Welcome, Udrak. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Dennis.
Good afternoon, Udrak. Welcome.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Go ahead.
I'm good. See, the truth of the matter is, I don't think, even though we propose uniform for the university students, nothing is going to change. But before I contribute, I want to ask you a question. There was a question one of the students asked me. She was on a very hot seat. She has to call from the University of Calabar and ask me, if a child is fall, whose fault it is it from the parent or from the child? So I'm also putting that question to you.
If a child falls...
The video I saw, yes, if a child falls, whose fault is it?
If a child fails.
Yes.
Okay.
Who are we supposed to blame? Is it the parent or the child?
There are so many factors that can lead to a child's failure.
She actually needed a straight answer, like from the child or from the parent, because that's the same thing I said. There are a lot of factors that contribute. The truth of the matter is that this particular generation has points, so nothing we can do. I visited almost all the school every day because of the nature of my job. So I've realized that nothing we can do. If you like being wear uniform to school, what about after school? What about other places that they visit? Does it mean that it's only in the school compound that you are supposed to dress?
What I'm saying is this. That's why I said there is inappropriate dressing. I don't expect you to dress like you're going to a club, to a learning environment. It makes no sense. It's the same way I don't expect you to come to the club wearing suit and tie. I don't know if you get what I mean. I don't expect you dressing like you're going to the swimming pool to go to a church. There's an appropriate dressing for when you go to a church.
The question now is the character you learn in school and everything. Where are you supposed to exhibit those things? Is it not outside the school compound?
In the larger
it's not
society.
Like someone going to the church. Can you hear me?
Who do I come with you?
It's like someone going to the church, you dress like Mary Amaka and everything, and you go to the church, you sit very well. But after church, what next? The thing you are being taught in the church, are you not supposed to, practice those things outside the church? So if you ask them to wear a particular uniform and go to school and behave like everything, everybody see them as danger. By the time they left the school environment, what happened next? So that's the truth.
Okay, I get you. Ida from Okara, welcome. Go ahead, Ida.
Yeah, Didi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ida.
First of all, I will not blame the parents because most of them hide their clothes inside their bags and keep it outside first. Then they will now wear long skirts and go outside and maybe call their friends and change. And I don't prepare uniform for the university level. What I would want them to do is to keep security men at the gate. If you want to enter school, they check you. If you're not properly dressed, then send you back home. Talking of cloth dressing is different. But our people should learn that you're going to class to learn. You want to dress that way. Most of them don't put on bra. And because of them, people are getting accidents anyhow they like. So they should please, if you are coming to the school, wear your bra, dress properly. So that you come to learn, you don't come to make guy. So when you're going out from the school, most of them, if you just come out from school and ask them questions, they cannot answer you. So you don't go there, you go there for action. It's not good. They should learn. Thank you.
Thank you. It does says you are causing people to have accidents. Change your ways. Change your what? Ways. Let's read this one from Jojo. It says, innocent dressing. The VC has done well by rebuking her, but for dismissal, you should temper justice with mercy, having known what it takes to gain admission into the university. We go on a commercial break. When we come back, the conversation continues. So stay tuned.
Sincerely, I don't want to wait till I graduate from this school before I think of what to do with my life.
Exactly. I am going to seriously work on my music skills. Let me use my talent well, I beg.
I would like to
unable to read them now. I will read them after trending stories at 1. Back to your Facebook messages. Louis Marcus says no need for uniforms for universities except departmental cases. Innocent Barika says, Idi, good morning. For the fact that we see then university students as adults, we can suggest uniforms for them, but we expect decency in dressing, communication and character from them as a student who is undergoing a lesson. University has lost its glory to indecent dressing and internet fraudsters. I'm Innocent from Port Harcourt. Onyume says that is a good one. Ikechi Ekperemadu says uniform, decent dressing. Yes, I was just informed that I have been live on Facebook, so I will check if I have some responses from those of you that are watching live. I can take in one final call before the news, and then we come back, take more calls, and round off this particular piece. Okay. So this one on Facebook also says, it's from Anunobi Onyekachi Casey. Uniform in universities. McDonald University is an example of universities that wear uniform departmentally. I am against uniform in universities, equals to the fact that a corrupt person is corrupt and can't be curtailed by the color of the clothes they wear. If you recommend navy blue for a particular department, someone can still choose to wear navy blue mosquito nets to classes. Oh my god, I think stopping indecent dressing from the gate is the best option. Nightclubs should be differentiated from classes. Afternoon, all the certificate we obtain is of character and learning. Nani B. Bariboma says, I don't subscribe to uniform, but proper dressing code should be enforced. Students can slim or minimize the length of their uniforms. Nigerian Info, good afternoon. Welcome, go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Frank Emmanuel calling from Port Harcourt.
Frank, welcome.
Yeah, I want to say, lend my voice to this discourse that is going on.
Oh, Frank. Please call back. Daniel from Woji says, this one is from WhatsApp. Hi Denise, with regards to the topic for today, if one is comfortable dressing in leathers and spaghetti tops, then great. You cannot force people to have a set pattern of behavior when their own nature rebels against it. It is said that a person forced against his will is of the same opinion still. Applying this to university students, if we apply the wearing of uniforms, at the end of the day, what we will produce will be a lot of rogues in gentlemen's clothing. A factor which explains why, despite centuries of decent formal dressing, professionals who were once students are still held in contempt and disregard in the Western world. But if you allow every student to dress according to their heart's content, not only will you be allowing the natural freedom of expression, you also will be inevitably separating the width from the shaft. Students who are naturally inclined to a sense of decency, which the law upholds, will be noticed, and those who are not will be noticed as well. It will then be left for society to choose whose fashion sense it prefers to do business with at the end of the day. Daniel, thank you very much. So hold on, keep sending your messages. We go on the news break, and then we come back and we round up.
With information comes power.
We give you more power.
round off the conversation on uniforms in tertiary institutions. Now, I did start off by saying that we all attended nursery, primary, and secondary schools wearing school uniforms. First, it was made easy for us because it was able to, we could be identified with the school uniform. It was easy for people to identify us as students. It made us appear serious and smart, and it prevented things like inappropriate dressing in schools. Although some secondary school students still found their way around it by modifying their school uniforms to fit their preferences. Now, it is expected that, you guys are in the university. Things should change. You're an adult, and you should know better.
The details, the stories, with the...
Sincerest apologies for that. You should know better, and you should do better. But this is what we have in our tertiary institutions today. Students dressing indecently and inappropriately. So much so that the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Port Harcourt threatened to dismiss a student over indecent dressing. An online video which has now gone viral showed that in the University of Port Harcourt, he was in a company of other people, other officials, and he cited the students wearing a white crop blouse, a jean short, and a bucket hat. And he could be heard asking the student if she was comfortable in what she was wearing. And I asked, in a bid to prevent more occurrences like this, would you support wearing uniforms in tertiary institutions? And it's not like it's not already being it's not applied or it's not applicable in some tertiary institutions. It is. If you're studying law, you shall know you have to wear your black and white. For some other universities, private and public, some departments have adopted the uniform trend. So why can't we make it something embraced by everyone? Barry Bell, Best Girl on Facebook, says indecent dresses should be frowned at by the school management, taking strict measures against it. To be precise, in my school, River State University, you can't dress seductively or perhaps exposing your body. I bet you'll be sent back home right at the gate entrance. And so, it must not be by compelling students in university to wear uniforms, but for the schools to take strict measures against all forms of indecent dressing. Now, I promised the people on WhatsApp that I would read their messages after the break, and I'm going to do just that. A moment, please. Now, this message is from Okoroma Godwin Chooks from Erema Community. Good afternoon, Denise. Societies always evolve. The evolvement has many dimensions. Culture is the way of life and having many characteristics. Nigeria does not have a dominant dress culture. The dress culture in Nigeria is subject to social change. Globalization is a potent force with university. Dress culture of the female folks need not to be harlotry or a sort of gangster nonsense. It's so defeating. If we must rejig the dress culture, parents in churches should also be a part of that dress culture change and regulate the social change mentality. This one says the problem is not from the uniform, but from the society we find ourselves. Parents are not helping matters. They are overprotecting their children from knowing the norms and values of the society. Let's train our child well for a better society. Good afternoon, Denise. There's a proverb that says when bad things last for so long, it becomes tradition. The kind of indecent dressing in universities is so alarming. A child will dress half naked and move along with the parents, and the parents will be comfortable with it. There shouldn't be a particular uniform in the universities, but let there be a standard of dressing for students. I'm IK from Alu. This one says, good day, presenter. To check the case of indecent dressing in our tertiary institutions, the school uniform will be the next option. After all, some of the faculties and the universities have already adopted the use of prescribed uniforms. Let the university authority also wear the moral uniform in their services in the school. Elder Joel Adolphus from Degema. Someone says this happened today, 4th of July. What's this about? Good day, delectable Denise. Enforcing a school uniform is not the way to solve indecent and inappropriate dressing in our schools. This is a serious societal and systemic malady. Even from secondary schools, the rate is provocative, and indecent dressing are questionable and unquerable. Indecent dressing is almost become the culture, and it would take more than introducing uniforms in schools to stop it. JT in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, good afternoon, Denise. Uniforms in tertiary institutions. What should have been the main focus in education across the board, from nursery and primary through to secondary, has been missed by our society. Personal moral growth and development that are geared towards the positive improvement of both individual and society should be the focus. Currently, it is not. Unfortunately, most of us tend to think that it is none of our business. In the context of developing a society positively, all hands have to be on deck. We need to teach ourselves and our children how to think and reason without the need to hurriedly rush through life. You will then see that you will not need uniforms in tertiary institutions. Thanks, Abakari. Send that in. Good afternoon, Didi. The VC did well, but you should please give her a second chance. Didi, I went to Osisa Tech Poly Enugu State, earned by Reverend Father Ede. We put on departmental wears, and you don't dress anyhow. No sleeveless top or ripped jeans. Emmy Berry Ball from Iwa Fair. Good afternoon. It isn't bad for university students to start using uniforms, but imagine having 10 different colors of uniforms in one university because of different courses, different uniforms. I think it would have been better if it was one university. If it was one university, one cause. Solomon from Igbo Eche. Nigerian Phil, good afternoon. Welcome. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Judy.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
In the same person, the universities. My first advice to the Nigerian universities, number one, is for them to introduce faculty of moral education. Because there are many faculties. Let us introduce faculty of moral education. That is number one. Number two, they should also put gate men and people that are to be assessing both boys and girls that enter into university. Because university is a place that people go to acquire knowledge and also have good characters. That is why the matriculation language is always these people are qualified in knowledge and in characters. They should introduce faculty of moral education to balance this claim or this convocational language. It is not good for our children to dress the way they dress.
All right, thank you. Bennett Awubike says, I support it. All government workers, including lecturers, House of Assembly members, commissioners, ministers, governors, presidents, should all wear uniforms. Now, some persons send their messages via Twitter. This one is from Change Indices, and it says, uniforms are already in place with advisory on requirements and what is acceptable. Some of the Christian community has stated that, especially among the traditional, if we're talking about definite styling like primary and secondary schools, it is not proper. Talking about this is clear signal that some of our children are exhibition of irresponsibility. The learning environment should be protected from all distractions, and those seeking it for contrary purpose should be thrown out if unrepentant. My final caller, and we're done. Nigerian Fair, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
So, it's tell you, matter. You see this indecent trend dressing you people are talking about. It cannot be stopped because today, if you go to many churches, you see a lot of ladies wearing gowns that is to stop for their last step entering the house of God. We are not talking of the university own. Even those university own have to put it into not the university. The Nigerians have to put it into the legislative as this is supposed to put it in the law. That any girl that is dressed in this dress should not enter the school premises. I don't say it go to many churches. I mentioned the churches here. They're not very ready to wearing ties and entering the house of God. Is it good? Most of them, they are scared to don't even cover their laps. What is wrong with it? They have to put it in the law. Even on the street. That's why I like army. If you dress any house to go to the entire barrack, then what they have to do with you, give you a punishment.
Okay.
They cannot go there again to put up any
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dakuku. Thank you.
Even in the churches.
Thank you, Dakuku. Thank you so much for calling. Davidson, RAC Suku says, to be honest with you, departmental uniform is the best because it makes the students look unique and comfortable. In that sector, it can make it easier to identify market people and students because the way students dress nowadays can even make you lay a curse on them. Sometimes it pisses me off seeing my fellow students dress aggressively. I feel somehow that I wish I'm a lecturer, I would have chased them out of my class. Okeje Madu says, may I ask, if you control the seen immorality, how do you control the unseen immorality? By that I mean the immorality she commits when neither the parents or the VC is around and looking. If you ask me, they can wear whatever as long as you don't start adjusting it when I am looking at you. And final message here says, okay, I think the person deleted the message. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Up next, a commercial break, and thereafter we'll be back for a little chit chat. And of course, the sunny side continues. This is Nigerian Info. I'm Denise Dennis Swallow. Thank you for listening.